brakes of the Java 250cc were pressed, silencing the roar of the bike. An 18-year-old stepped off in her khaki dungaree and white t-shirt, backpack in tow. As she walked towards college, her presence drew astonished gazes and transformed into warm smiles as they noticed the little one and his babbling in the backpack. That 18-year-old was no one else but me, not carrying books to college, but my precious one-year-old. Life was never conventional for me. I'm sure you figured that out. As a child, I would rather kick a football than open a textbook. I was the school brat, always getting into trouble. For me, life was all about having fun, going to the movies, hanging out with friends. My parents wondered, what would I ever do in life? Or as they said, how do you solve a problem like Neeta? Well, fast forward to 1980, I happily got married. Yes, to avoid the demands of study from my parents. Married into a family of professionals, I had to work with a limited pocket money. I chose tailoring to learn a hobby and to make the additional income. In the process, my choice unfolded into a comprehensive journey in the realm of fashion design. Post-graduation, I took up teaching in my college at ₹30 an hour for 2 hours twice a week. As the remuneration did not suffice, I took up working as an assistant choreographer. As time progressed, my role shifted from a fashion choreographer to a costume designer for films and couturier for mainstream in the initial 2 years. Although I lack experience in costume design, my strong learnings of garment cuts and techniques for mainstream design enabled me to comprehend specialized cuts more easily. With increasing opportunities to work on numerous films, my ability to perceive looks and enhanced visual sensibilities grew more acute and vibrant. I will now delineate mantras that help me survive, thrive, and persevere in my journey that I love and I live by every day of my life. Power of purpose. Life taught me the power of purpose early, with a mission to make extra income, to give my kids the best lifestyle, and to be an integral support in the family. This was a motivating force. But what happens when purpose meets failure? I was still persevering. My first outfit was an absolute disaster to the extent that shoot had to be cancelled that day. Well, I had to figure a way out and try to convert my vision into a meaningful reality. I wasn't ready to give up yet. I sat with a master who made clothes for the background artist from a little workshop. As he opened up the garment, recut it, and restitched it, he explained the minute details that made a difference. The outfit was perfected overnight, and with the right techniques, this left an indelible mark in my career. With the need to buy a sewing machine, I sold sandwiches. I made my first ₹500 and bought my first second-hand machine. Thereafter, I started my own workshop from a garage. This led to my entrepreneurial journey and giving me a sense of empowerment, fulfillment, and great deal of ambition. All these initial baby steps finally led to the larger goal. But who knew? Because I was only going with the flow of work that came to me. The quest to learn new skills. I was fortunate to have encouraging professors who pushed my creative boundaries to blossom in unique fabrics and textures. Working with Sridevi on her film Jagadi Kavirulu Atiloka Sundari, I found my creative sensibilities taking shape. I played with unconventional colors, textures, techniques, and embellishments like flowers, shells, metal pieces, and even crow feathers. The film till date is used as a reference and inspiration by many directors working on film projects. The more I delved into this whirlwind of amazing techniques, my skills got heightened, and I wanted to work on more challenging projects. I I was known as this maverick designer who played with unconventional colors, just like a rainbow does with sunshine on a rainy day. The ability to adapt and adapt fast. This quality to adapt still holds true for me even today. I don't resonate with the stagnancy of ageism. In my opinion, creativity like wine gets better with age. Time and experience help me push my creative boundaries and get a deeper understanding of my craft. People often ask me what keeps my mindset so young and my design so contemporary. The answer is adapting to changing times and keeping my mind and eyes open to the new techniques and thought processes. As a student, I had to rely only on 2 biannual magazines and the books in the library. This constraint pushed me to experiment with my own style statement and then use this for the actors I was working with. As a costume designer, I realized that understanding the vision of the director, the requirements of the art director, the director of photography, and the choreographer, and the comfort of the actor, all would work very crucial in crafting costumes that told a story. Being adaptable made me a team player and unleashed my creativity in unique ways, contributing to the holistic vision of my films. As a couturier, I learned that while newer weaves were being introduced, age-old techniques were fading away. Thus, with time, I learned how to amalgamate heritage weaves with contemporary appeal, bridging the past with the future in my designs. Adapting to local and global ideas made me create a resilient and innovative brand. The goal of self-reliance. We were shooting 3 hours away in Jaipur, called Sambhar, and with very minimalistic surroundings, a sudden change of requirement needed a commander-in-chief to shoot that day, and we did not have an ammo for him. I had to come out with a solution to avoid the production from incurring huge losses. I was looking around and couldn't find anything. I saw an aluminum patty. I cut up the patty. Yes, I cut up the aluminum patty and created an armor. Such situations with jugaads have come up several times in my journey since then. My instinct is to simply respond with a fearless hands-on approach. And these incidences of creating with little or nothing gives me a great sense of self-reliance, enabling me to take up mammoth projects that require up to 3,000 plus garments in record time frames, making self-confidence my style statement. As a young designer, I always aspired to work with Sridevi, and I finally got the opportunity to style her for a magazine cover. Those days, styling was very primitive. We did not have brands to access from, and everything was made from scratch, conceptualized, and then shot and styled. As a result, I could leverage my draping skills to the optimum. I met Sridevi and was captivated by her kind and encouraging nature. On the day of the shoot, I landed up with a small box of some fabric and earrings. Everyone looked at me in disbelief, but the beautiful lady was calm and her demeanor confident. The overall look, when styled, turned out to be a huge hit and went on to become one of the best covers of the magazines at that time. It was also exhibited in the Hall of Fame of Photographs. The self-confidence that I displayed in my work that particular day paved the way for the numerous projects I had the privilege to be part of for Sridevi. I truly believe that with confidence in your abilities, you can create magic. To prepare some more. People often ask me how I manage to stay so calm in the midst of a hectic schedule. Well, the basic formula is extensive preparation, which enables me to multitask. On films, the prep starts with reading the script repeatedly, discussing with the director his vision, joint meetings with other technicians and technical teams, and then researching the pictorial details in the library. Illustration process then starts with creating a color palette for the entire film. Color bifurcation and illustrations for every character is rendered. These sketches are then done and discussed with the director again, and suggested changes are made. Post this starts the process of fabrication. Extensive buying and sourcing of fabrics from various parts of India is done, creating hand embroideries, basic surface ornamentations like borders, braids, and embellishments are also put into process. Jewelry is purchased or handmade depending on the narrative and the conceptualization. Shoes and headgears are sourced or handmade depending on the requirement of the character and the comfort of the actor. Only when this is accomplished starts the production process of the garments. A look test is then scheduled and the character is brought to life. And this also requires to understand the comfort for ease of the character portrayal from the actor. Depending on the magnanimity of the film, this process could take a good 6 to 8 months. This is an essential requirement to facilitate the smooth and successful movement of the shoot. Build experience with your experience. My journey is filled with practical learnings, observing and keeping my mind and eyes open to the wonders of the craft and the evolution of my industry. This enables me to master and go beyond my current skill levels. As I transition from project to project, the process of learning and unlearning and relearning becomes very imperative. A certain detail for blouses in Chandramukhi 2 were just not working out. 6 attempts and messed up blouses for 2 days from the master cutter. The pressure of fitting next day at 2 p.m. got me impatient and agitated. Close to around 11 p.m. at night, I calmly asked for a machinist and started to cut at the cutting table. Perfecting it by early morning, my team and I went in for fittings. As I was explaining the techniques to my team, this reminded me of the master who taught me the cutting technique as I was doing exactly the same. Numerous challenges have come my way. My student mindset have always helped me to overcome obstacles, achieving and creating. The extensive looks in Jodha Akbar, the complicated 12-meter sari drapes on Paro in Devdas, the 12-yard Maharashtrian sari drapes and armors in Manikarnika, creating the world of the Marathas and Emershah Abdali for Panipat, the inner construction of Kangana's bodysuit for Thalaini, the new age Bharatanatyam costume techniques in Chandramukhi 2, and the cutting edge techniques for Bro. To save time, I find it much easier to cut and drape clothes myself. This has fondly earned me the title of a costume technician in my industry. Well, honesty. To be honest and say I don't know when you don't have an answer. That remains my mantra even today. Whether it is about learning digital medium, understanding the Gen Z mindset, or mastering a new technique, being open and asking questions to move forward, to learn, for me is very imperative. I remember the pagri draping for riveting in Jodha Akbar. A certain technicality that was required was just not getting perfect, despite many trials with many pagri makers. This got the entire team impatient and agitated as we were nearing shooting. Can I give it a try? What made me say that is a wonder to me yet. And there I was standing, shaking nervously, trying to figure the pagri on the actor's head. I took a deep breath and with a calm and steady hand, I started to undo the layers, numbering each one of them. As soon as the base of the pagri was off the layers, I sorted the issue and started to graft it on his head again. Post that, I reconstructed the layers back and we were good to go. And that was the only pagri that was used with changes of colors on top of it to give variations of looks in the entire film. Enthusiasm sparks positive energy. My work is my meditation. It is my hobby, my passion, and a way of life. After 4 decades in the industry, even today, with any kind of task, be it a shoot, a show, or bridal styling, I want to wake up like a school kid, get ready on time to go on a class picnic. Long hours of work, the whirring of sewing machines, cuts going wrong and then being perfected, buzzing discussions with my team, travel for fabric sourcing, last-minute complications, and minimal sleep does not matter. as I eagerly await the creative challenges. The sheer delight of getting hands-on with my work is an experience that defies description. Diversity is always strength. I wear multiple hats: a fashion designer, an academician, a painter, a wife, and also a grandmother. Each of these roles is different, but brings its own perspective, ideas, and strengths as they bind seamlessly together, almost enriching each another, enhancing my journey. Working in the film industry, both in India and Hollywood, brought new learnings of technique and challenges which I worked with to create the larger-than-life aspirational phenomena. Collaborating with brides, creating classic one-of-a-kind bridal couture brought my philosophy and narrative of heritage and quality to the forefront with a three-decade learning to it. As an academician, I felt that a good interactive mentorship paves the way for deeper understanding for students to graduate with confidence and be able to create their own landmark in the industry. My love for colors has led to a recent passion of painting in the impasto form, a therapeutic progressive addition to my creative repertoire. As a design brand, I recognize the need to extend my expertise into lifestyle products, forging exciting collaborations, forming a rich legacy with my diversity, extraordinary performance, and gratitude. Coupled with enthusiasm, expertise, and diversity of work that I have been blessed with, lies the ability for extraordinary performance. I believe that my only competition is myself. As I went with the flow and worked from one project to another, I did not even realize the quantum of brilliant work that came to me in my trajectory. It was Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam and the advent of media awareness where my clothes first got tremendous appreciation. My insecurities got heightened as I thought, this was possibly my best work ever. How will I get better than this? Will there be another project of this magnitude? Then came Devdas, and the appreciation got so big that I looked at it and I said, "Bachcho, ab to tu gaye kaam se." Nothing can surpass this grandiose. And then came a brilliant project, Jodha Akbar. And I am grateful that the journey continues onwards like a work in progress. Though marked with challenges, my trajectory has allowed me to work a rich legacy that will go down in history as cultural heritage combined with contemporary influences. My journey of shattering boundaries from the 12-yard saris of Paro and Devdas to the intricate looks in Jodha Akbar to 400 films today, I feel blessed. To sum up with my mantra, life is like a fabric, knowledge my scissors. I cut my own pattern, marked with dreams, stitched with my effort. I let go of all apprehensions and stay focused to tread on my journey with enthusiasm and confidence on a wondrous path that enriched my tapestry of life. Thank you.